Respeto, diversidad y evolución.
A culture of non-violence and peace to myself and to our national society means a culture where there is dignity for all. It's about carefully listening to what people really need and taking into account not only their needs, but their desire to live the best life they can live. A culture of non-violence and peace also is not about an absence of war. It's about a deep and long-term understanding that if you work for Red Cross or Red Crescent, the focus is about humanity.
On the individual basis, the culture of non-violence is extremely important, because that is when one realizes the value of another person and one respects the peace of another person.
The culture of non-violence and peace is about ensuring that we leave this continent in the hands of people who are committed to peaceful coexistence, whether it is violence in the homestead, violence amongst young people, or violence within countries. So it is inculcating a culture of caring, non-discrimination, and empathy.
A lot of flexibility, tolerance, and acceptance.
This culture of non-violence and peace, for me as an individual, means the utmost of fairness, the utmost of equity, the utmost of equality, and it will lead to a normal development of the society. Everybody lives in peace, everybody lives happily and safely. My grandchildren, my children, and their offsprings also will live in peace.
To be able to respect each other, and more importantly, to be tolerant.
A culture of nonviolence and peace really means that we can get along with everybody, notwithstanding that we won't have our differences, but we must find ways to talk about those differences. We must be tolerant of different cultures and be able to find ways to work together in harmony to the best of our abilities.
I guess the first word that comes into my mind is probably the word harmony. Creating that sense of harmony within myself, my friends, my people, and the community around.
Well, it's very much about respect of the other. I think it's really kind of the mindset of the people that actually there is the saying that the freedom of one person ends where the freedom of the other is affected.
We all as human beings consider our commonalities and common values that we share regardless of the race, nationality, and other criteria.
A culture of nonviolence and peace means togetherness. It also reminds me of the fundamental principles of our Red Cross Red Crescent movement, and also humanity, that we're all in this together.
A culture of nonviolence and peace is the real meaning of our life. It's the only way that will enable us to develop our communities and to develop ourselves and to develop our countries. So this is the mean for a normal and real and precious life.
For national society, it's more comprehensive because we do have our 7 fundamental principles. If we are able to follow consistently the 7 principles, yes, we'll have at the end the culture of peace, because everything is there. We must be acting with humanity, we must act with unity, we must act with voluntarism. We must also be transparent in whatever we are doing. And in doing that, we'll be considered, we'll be providing respect to each other, no matter what are our differences.
It means helping the community, having a resilient community around you, building the capacity of your community in order to live in peace. Now, if one doesn't live in peace with himself, you cannot live in peace with your neighbors. So the individual, the local community, it goes wider to the full country, the family, and the whole global village as it has become in a way.
In our national society in Australia, we're very passionate about young people and creating that concept of young people, being involved in issues of social inclusion.
A way of sustaining and supporting the society of Romania into developing and furthering basically the goals of humanitarianism, of respect for diversity, non-violence, non-discrimination, tolerance.
Promotion of peace and friendship and non-violence is one of the 4 goals of the Iranian Red Crescent Society.
Notre société nationale en particulier, avec les crises, n'est-ce pas, qui de temps en temps peuvent rejaillir d'un côté ou de l'autre, il est très important, n'est-ce pas, pour notre société nationale d'investir dans ce domaine, surtout à niveau de l'éducation. Il faut déjà instaurer ce système d'éducation à la non-violence aux enfants, n'est-ce pas, qui sont toujours tentés à vouloir résoudre les problèmes d'eux-mêmes alors que les lois sont là.
Per questo la Croce Rossa Giovanile, Red Cross Youth, è così importante, perché già da piccoli, a 6 anni, a 7 anni, i bambini devono nascere e crescere con in testa ben chiaro che la violenza porta violenza e che gli altri non sono diversi da te e non sono peggiori, sono uguali.
Because our very fundamental principles state that we must do that we can really make a great difference in the lives of many people. And we must really, as we say in the Caribbean, walk the talk. It's really got to be something that all of us in our national society, staff, volunteers and members really support the same ideals and that we work together to promote peace and harmony.
Beh, fa parte dei principi fondamentali. Il primo principio fondamentale, il più importante, è il principio di umanità. L'umanità è incompatibile, inconcepibile vicino alla violenza. Cioè noi dobbiamo essere l'organizzazione che dà l'esempio agli altri, che indica una strada di comprensione reciproca, di partnership, di amicizia, di collaborazione, senza cadere nel pregiudizio di ritenere gli altri diversi da noi, peggiori di noi. È un problema di rispetto per le diversità.
It is very important for the international Red Cross and Red Crescent movement to promote a culture of non-violence and peace, because at the end of the day we are about humanity. We stand for the principle that we are more similar than we are different, and thus taking into account all being humans, we need to care for each other in the best way we can.
It lies in the heart and the center of the movement. Therefore, I think it should guide and direct and lead all activities and initiatives of the Red Cross Red Crescent, regardless of their location, regardless of their nature. I think at the end of the day, Red Cross as the important international network is responsible to make sure that this fundamental culture is actually spreading in all over its activities and programs and does not remain only as one sectoral program or emphasis from time to time.
The Jordan National Society has been in this issue of gender equality, of non-violence, of peace, ever since the adoption of the policy in 1999 of the gender policy. Now, gender policy, its utmost level and utmost aim is to reach equity and equality, and thus reach fairness.
It's this kind of principles-based approach that is at the core that makes the difference in terms of, we're just not delivering a service, but it's really, with the mindset behind, to have the vulnerable people, to have the needs in mind when we think about what we do. And I think that's, this extra that the Red Cross is able to deliver, that's kind of what makes us different from other organizations.
It has all the resources that can enable the Red Cross Red Crescent to do it, through the volunteers, through the principles, through the strategies, through the youth as agents of behavioral change that believes in this around the world.
Bueno, la Cruz Roja tiene fundamentalmente como cuestión fundamental el hecho de poder llegar a todos lados a través de su red de voluntarios y de voluntarias que permite ese trabajo en todas las comunidades a donde a veces no llegan ni siquiera los gobiernos, y eso nos permite, digamos, lograr crear esa cultura donde se reduzca la discriminación y realmente todos sean aceptados e incluidos, y trabajar fuertemente desde nuestros principios y desde nuestros valores.
From the federation level, we've seen some great opportunities here with the YABC campaign program initiative, to have that out there, getting young people from all around the world to really realise that them as young people can make the change that we need.
I think we can make a big, big difference in the lives of so many. I think we can speak with one voice.
Au niveau des établissements scolaires, du primaire au supérieur, ce que nous appelons les clubs Croix-Rouge Jeunesse. Notre souci là-bas, nous nous basons plus pour donner une éducation a ces jeunes de non-violence surtout.
Eso es un proyecto muy importante. En comunidades marginales, en favelas, en Costa Rica, también tenemos un proyecto de la juventud y un proyecto de los socorristas dirigido a hacer actividades alternativas con las personas de las comunidades, tener a la gente entretenida, tener a la gente con actividades lúdicas, con actividades de primeros auxilios, con actividades de prevención, con actividades de enseñanza, con talleres de trabajo, con actividades y juegos para los niños y las niñas, y de esa forma tienen espacios para recrearse, para canalizar su energía y ser cada vez menos violentos. El impacto positivo que recibimos es enseñarle a las personas que los problemas de la comunidad y los problemas entre ellos no solo se pueden solucionar de forma violenta, sino que hay formas pacíficas y alternativas como el diálogo, como talleres, como mesas de trabajo, como lluvias de ideas, participación comunitaria para la solución de los problemas.
Our national society in Jordan is doing everything in its capacity to reach to schools. For instance, we have some sort of a club, Red Crescent Club, where our principles, our organization is being introduced to the various publics of school, whether teachers, students, and so on and so forth. This is an effective way to invite people really to our organization. We are finding that more and more of our youngsters, because of these clubs at the schools, are coming into our society.
We actually started to promote the culture of nonviolence and peace through a project that's called Open Your Mind for the World, where we try to disseminate these values. We trained 6,000 people in the first year of the project, so just having in mind this figure, and that is only in one city in Romania, I think through the evaluation questionnaires, through the feedback that we got, that a lot of people realized that there are rules and that they are somehow overlooked in the educational system.
We have organized the football for women and men, and when they play together, they believe that what a man can do, a woman can do, and when they see this, they believe that they are equal, and when they realize that they are equal, it means no one should hurt one another. No one should look on another negatively, hence setting an environment which is free and is non-violent. Mobilizing people for trainings which are skill-based is not easy, because sometimes people prefer to go for a training where maybe they are going to be given something. By this nature of trainings, we give skills.
Developing countries are much more involved and concerned about their living matters, which would take more of their time, and little time as a consequence is being left for them to participate in voluntary work and human work and extra work outside the school.
El primer obstáculo es que de un día a otro no puedes cambiar la cultura de las comunidades. Es decir, hay comunidades que son violentas y hay comunidades y grupos de personas que han entendido que la violencia es su herramienta más efectiva para solucionar las cosas. El factor más importante es el respeto de la comunidad, la permanencia activa en la comunidad y una organización que se dedica fundamentalmente a ayudar. Así, la comunidad nos ve como sus aliados y eso facilita mucho el proceso de una cultura no violencia y paz.